This is a totally accurate tops guide video. I'm showing you all of the things that you need to know about in totally accurate tops. Let's just get stuck right in. Before we do get started, go to the shop and then I'm going to redeem codes. Codes will really help you out. I'm just going to let you guys know, Meteor Notify is going to be the best game pass if you want it. Like, subscribe to my channel, and then comment your Roblox username, and I will go ahead and give you the Meteor Notify for completely free. These are all of the working codes that are working right now. If you're new to the game, redeem these codes. We got the first code, which is going to be grinding sucks. Redeem that code in. We also got the code mistakes were made. We also got the code game reopened, so redeem that code in as well. I just want to let you know, if these codes aren't working for you, if you guys could keep us up to date with all of the codes in the comment section, that would mean a lot. But make sure that you redeem all of these codes in. These codes will give you a ton of money, and they'll also give you XP that will help you out, especially if you're new to the game. So make sure you redeem those codes in, and public test in. Make sure you redeem those codes in. And you can see that we've got a bunch of levels and money for redeeming in these codes. Anyway, let me go over the basics. In order to get money, take part in tournaments. Tournaments are the best way to make money. If you aren't doing tournaments, you can also make money by picking up trash around the map. All you need to do is pick up trash. You can get a total of 10 trash. And then once you've got enough trash, just go ahead and put in the dumpster. And then you should go ahead and get yourself some money for doing that. The reason why you want money is to upgrade your Beyblade so that you can win more. Go to edit your top. You can see the stats of your Beyblade. We've got attack, defense, stamina, type, weight, height, speed, max RPM, and armor. You might be wondering, what do each one of those do? Click the question mark. Attack will do dealt damage and knockback. So if you increase your attack, you'll be doing more damage and knockback. Defense, the damage what you receive will be obviously reduced because you've got higher defense. The stamina will increase the spin duration, the type, for type matchups and moves. Weight influences knockback. See, so a lot of you probably don't know what weight does do. So higher the weight basically influences the knockback speed, stability, etc, etc. Height influences the stability and belt exposure. Speed increases the max movement speed, max RPM, a benchmark for spin duration, and then we've got armor, reduced damage from all belt hits. So that's pretty much what each stat does do. We are now moving on to crowns. By hovering over crowns, it will say how you obtain some of them. So gold and metal is obtained from trash, as you can see, can be found in golden trash. So by hovering over crowns, it can say if it's obtainable or unobtainable. A lot of the crowns, for some reason, are going to be unobtainable, which is really annoying. But most of them are actually going to be Game Pass exclusives, as you can see. So if you want a Game Pass with some crowns, let me know down in the comments. So with money, you can obviously go ahead and buy bodies. So at the bottom, you can obviously buy a random body. So if you do click buy a random body, you actually unlock one. So you can see that we did just unlock twin. If you want to see if the part that you got is good or not, all you need to do is hover over it and it will give you a description of what each part does do. So the twin part, what I did just get, will increase stamina from the outward weight distribution. Can perform, but rare, a smash attack, which is pretty good, guys, not going to lie. A lot of you might be looking at the stats of each part. However, you want to read the description, because I promise you, the description probably matters more than the stats of a part itself. So make sure that you are taking note on the description, because it provides a passive. Each part has its own passive, which is why I actually really like this game. So please take note, not only the stats, but the description of the part as well. You can see that there's actually going to be rubber flat parts. So basically the rubber on these points basically stick to the stadium more, which do provide more stability. So this is why there's so many rubber pins and rubber points. That's because it does provide friction and it will stick to the stadium a lot more. But because it's rubber, it will obviously decrease the stamina because of that, which is why there's a lot of the rubbers what do have low stamina. So we obviously got metal, as you can see. So metal will go ahead and basically have less friction. Or we got the opposite of rubber, which is going to be metal. Metal will provide for you pretty much less friction, so you are moving faster, and you got pretty much no friction. So it's completely opposite to rubber. So it can be both beneficial depending on which you like, depending on your build pretty much. So we now go on to builds. You can see that most of the builds do actually have a description, but it does have different types of modes. If you do hover over shift, you can see that shift can be in high mode, which will give you more knockback, but you'll be getting less stamina drain. But there's also going to be a low mode, which is why it's called shift. It will shift between different types of modes, and low mode to give you more knockback reduction and speed. So each belt does have its own mode if you do hover over it. So make sure if you are paying attention to the description of each belt, because most of them do have different types of modes. So when you are making your build, you want to make sure that it's just not completely random. Yes, you can probably have a balanced type build like mine, as you can see. Good attack, good defense, good stamina. But you can also go ahead and have a build which is primarily based on attack or defense. So I wouldn't really have a defense just based off stamina. I highly recommend you choosing either attack or defense. I know that a lot of you might be wondering, what are the best builds in totally accurate tops? If I'm going to be honest with you, just experiment with all of the parts what you've got. Try and make your own build, and if it does work for you, then go ahead and use that build. Because obviously, if you follow a tutorial knowing what the best builds are, more than likely everybody else has that same build. So you just want to come up with something unique, because obviously if everyone has the same build, you can probably come up with your own build that will counter the best build in the game. So I won't really tell you the best build in the game, just please come up with your own. So there's actually a good body, what I really like, which is actually going to be called Swarm. If I can actually show you right here, as you can see, Swarm is actually going to be really good. So it's covered in 16 blade, output consistently high damage with low recoil, and it will ignore armor. It's going to be extremely overpowered. So you just want to make sure, guys, that you are looking at all of the parts, but height does matter a lot. And yeah, just take note. The taller the Beyblade what you got, the better. Obviously, now we got colors. As you can see, you got your primary colors, your secondary colors. So if you want to customize your Beyblade on how it does look and you don't like the colors of it, you can obviously go ahead and start customizing it here, as you can see. Now got spirits. Spirits you can only get from meteors that fall from the sky, which is why I said meteors are going to be incredibly important. I'll show you all of the meteor locations in just a moment, but there's going to be plenty of different spirits for what you can get. Each spirit will do its own passive. So spirits are basically passive, so what you can get on top of your Beyblade, and these spirits will do something like Death in Spirit Form has a 5% chance to apply bleeding each hit while attacking below 90%. Bleeding will silently deal damage. So you guys get the point on how overpowered spirits are. There's going to be uncommon, rare, legendary spirits for what you can actually go ahead and get. And each spirit what you get are going to be very useful. Now go over the basics. If you press E on your keyboard, you can show your Beyblade, and then by clicking, you'll put your Beyblade inside of the ring, as you can see. And if you want to pick up your Beyblade again, just press E, and then you can go ahead and place it down again, as you can see. But you primarily want to try and hit it in the yellow, as you can see. So you want to try and get it in the yellow like that, and that would make you get a lot more stamina. So by getting goods and perfect, you'll slowly get a launch mastery. So the more you get perfect and goods like that, you'll get a launch mastery. So if I do it again, I did miss that time. So the more perfect you get, you'll slowly just go ahead and get yourself a launch mastery. So just keep on hitting perfect like that. I'm getting quite a lot of good ones. So if you keep on doing that, you'll get something called a launch mastery. You'll slowly get it, guys, the more you play the game. So launch mastery will basically slow down the white bar. So do you see the white bar? The more launch mastery that you get, the slower the white bar will be, allowing you to get a lot more golds and good perfect hit like that. Launch mastery will also increase your RPM, if you did not know that as well. So I just want to let you know there's a bit of a hidden feature, and if you do go ahead and use your Beyblade on flat ground, you can actually move it around by clicking, as you can see, which is pretty sick, as you can obviously see. Look at that, it's so sick. So if you got any part modes, all you need to do is press N on your keyboard, and then you are able to see all of your part modes, as you can see. So if you have part modes, just press N, and then you're able to see all of your part modes. So like I said, guys, if you do go to your parts, and remember when I said that each part does have its own mode. If you go ahead to the editor, and you see, go to belt, and obviously equip on what does have a mode, a part mode, you're able to select it. So just make sure that you look at all of the different types of belts, and if you select one that has a mode like this, I buy one, and you get shift. I did actually get shift, you can see if I do select that, and then I click finish, and then I press N, we've got shift belt. You can change it high or you can change it low, so you can actually change shift, as you can see, which is pretty sick. So a lot of you don't know that already, but you can actually go ahead and that's how to change your modes. You can see, I'm now going to go over a bit of the basics. As you can see, I'm currently in a tournament. You might be wondering, how do I increase my rank? So you obviously level up by making contact with other Beyblade, if you did not know that already. And I'm pretty sure I did just win this tournament. That guy got absolutely smoked. But by winning tournament, you actually get yourself a higher rank. So if you want to become like, if you're currently F like me, my level is 28 and I'm F. If you want to become a higher rank and become F to D, B, C, A, and then S, you can do that by winning tournaments. And tournaments happen every 8 minutes with 4 different modes. By winning battles in tournaments provides rank points and experience, with winning a tournament provides a decent sum of money as well, and a large amount of experience. So there's actually going to be multiple different types of stadiums that you might be in. That this stadium is actually going to be sand, which makes movement more harder. You're also going to be getting tons of different types of stadiums. You might get a cage stadium, you might get a ice stadium. A lot of you don't know how meteors do spawn, so the most important interactable in the game is meteors. They spawn every 25 minutes with a 50% chance, and it will give you a spirit upon collection. There's currently a lot of locations for these meteors, and I'm going to show you all of these locations in just a moment, so make sure that you keep on watching this video. I will now go ahead and show you all of the meteor locations, as a lot of you probably don't know where these meteors do actually go ahead and spawn. So let me get stuck right in by showing you all of the meteor locations. So let's just get stuck right in. So all of the locations for the meteors are going to be: first known location, behind the park battler. There's one that's going to be next to the legendary Blader. There's also another one between the hospital and sports center. Another one is going to be behind the Ellis Eatery. There's also another location next to the Stone Arena. Another one's going to be by the cliff near the forest entrance. Cliff in the middle of the forest near the waterfall. There's another location. There's also another meteor location at the Golden Grove. Another one's going to be at the brown patch after the parkour, right on that brown patch right there. So those are all of the locations. So when a meteor does spawn, you now know where to go. And I did tell you guys when meteors do spawn. And if you want to have a higher chance and find the meteors, it might be better to join a new server or old server to actually go ahead and find meteors really quickly. When you reach levels 100, 200, and 300, you can battle the legendary Blader, and then you can actually go ahead and battle him and his top, the Doom Dragon, in a best of 3 battles to increase your legend level. Winning the battle will reset your levels, and it's basically like a rebirth, and all of your spirits for the one that you choose, and the one that you turn in will grant you plus 1, 2, or 3 stats. So basically, if someone has a legendary stat point, that basically means they've got plus 1, 2, or 3 stats: attack, defense, and stamina. Which is why if someone has a 1 legendary, you're gonna probably lose to them, just to let you guys know. If you got a spirit and you use it, it might become strained the more you use it. If you want to treat your strained spirits, you can basically treat them at this location. So it's gonna be quite expensive. $4 to treat a spirit, then it's gonna be a checkup, it's gonna be $1.50. But if you got a strained spirit, you can actually treat it by coming to this location. Actually make your way at the top of this building. There's actually going to be so much trash up here, as you can obviously see. It might be like a really good way to actually get yourself a bunch of money. But if you are trying to find meteors by joining like new servers, what you do need to go ahead and do is realize that meteors only spawn every 50% chance every few minutes. I mean, I literally went over everything. If I missed anything, let me know down in the comments. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.